On May 9, 2023, furious crowds breached the gates of military installations across Pakistan. Citizens violently attacked state property, including storming Lahore's historic Jinnah House. The crowd had a singular focus: the release of ousted Prime Minister Imran Khan, now known to his millions of supporters as Prisoner 804. To understand why citizens were willing to assault the military for him, you have to look at the system he was trying to break. For decades, civilian governance in Pakistan has been dominated by a duopoly of two dynastic families. On one side, you have the Bhuttos, and on the other, the Sharif family. Power traded hands between these two entrenched camps for generations, creating a cycle of patronage and political gridlock. That gridlock created a desperate public hunger for an outsider. But in Pakistan, winning the streets is rarely enough to win the government. An outsider only reaches the top when the ultimate authority, the military establishment, decides they are useful. Imran Khan entered public life as a charismatic cricket captain. In 1992, he led Pakistan to its first and only World Cup victory, securing his status as a national hero. After retiring from sports, he channeled his celebrity into philanthropy. He raised funds to build a world-class free cancer hospital, an effort that cemented his reputation as a benevolent man of the people. In 1996, Khan pivoted to politics. He founded the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, running on a platform aimed at ending corruption and establishing an Islamic welfare state. Despite his fame and clean record, his early political career was defined by constant defeats. For over 2 decades, his party struggled to win more than a handful of seats in the National Assembly. It proved a harsh reality: popularity alone does not secure power in Pakistan. To form a government, a movement requires the hidden, structural backing of the military. Seeking an alternative to traditional dynasties before the 2018 election, the military turned to Khan. They pressured independent power brokers to defect and align with his party, giving Khan the political leverage and numbers he finally needed to win. The resulting 2018 government operated as a hybrid regime. Khan served as the civilian face, while the military quietly managed state interests behind the scenes. In office, Khan launched massive social welfare initiatives and managed relief efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, Pakistan faced an expanding debt crisis and a sharply weakening currency. A hybrid regime relies on a delicate balance. It only survives if the civilian leader accepts a subordinate role. But Khan's deep self-belief and messianic political style left little room for him to act as a junior partner to the generals. The fracture point arrived in late 2021. Khan attempted to interfere with the military's internal hierarchy, engaging in a standoff with the army chief over the appointment of a new intelligence director. He further alienated his institutional backers by pursuing an independent foreign policy that frequently ignored established military consensus. In February 2022, he traveled to Moscow. He arrived on the exact day Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine, a move that drew immediate frustration from Western allies and the Pakistani high command. In response to his growing defiance, the military made a decisive move. They abruptly withdrew their political support from Khan's coalition and publicly declared themselves neutral. Without the intelligence agencies actively managing his fragile coalition, Khan's numbers collapsed. In April 2022, opposition parties successfully filed a no-confidence motion in the National Assembly. Khan tried to block the vote by advising the president to dissolve parliament, but the Supreme Court ruled the move unconstitutional. On April 10th, the vote went through, making him the first prime minister in Pakistan's history to be ousted by a motion of no confidence. His removal proved that the military could easily dismantle the government it had built. However, the generals vastly underestimated the public reaction that discarding him would trigger. Instead of accepting defeat quietly, Khan went on the offensive. He weaponized a leaked diplomatic cable known as the cipher to rally his base. Using the document, he claimed his removal was a regime change conspiracy orchestrated by the United States, stoking anti-Western sentiment across the country. But as the crisis deepened, Khan shifted his strategy. He walked back the U.S. narrative and directly accused the Pakistani military establishment and the army chief of orchestrating his downfall. The state responded with a severe crackdown. Authorities launched mass arrests, detaining thousands of PTI supporters and senior party officials. To neutralize Khan himself, the government deployed multiple legal mechanisms. They charged him in the Cipher case for revealing state secrets, and in the Tosha Khana case for illegally acquiring luxury state gifts at heavily undervalued prices. These trials resulted in severe prison sentences for both Khan and his wife, legally stripping him of his right to run as a political candidate. But the harsh legal strategy backfired. By jailing him, the establishment transformed an ousted politician into a martyr for millions of Pakistanis. In the short term, the military achieved its tactical objective. They removed Khan and returned the traditional political elite to power through heavily managed elections. But the cost was immense. By promoting a populace as a savior and then violently discarding him, the military exposed their hidden control mechanisms. The public now sees the gears of the machine. Even from a prison cell, Khan managed to direct a wave of public awareness and outrage against the historically unchecked power of the generals. The traditional hybrid regime model has reached a point of exhaustion. The system relied on the illusion of an independent democratic process, and that veneer has been stripped away. By engineering Imran Khan's rise and forcing his dramatic fall, the military has traded its long-term legitimacy for immediate control. They have returned to power, but they face a public that is more politically aware and more polarized than ever before.